Hi everyone, and welcome to my latest video. It's all about Hearst Castle and a big chapter in my novel, Goodbye Angel Goodbye, took place at Hearst Castle. Here is William Randolph Hearst and Marion Davies, and just about everybody who was anyone in Hollywood partied at what they call the ranch on the top of the hill. And a big part of my novel takes place here. An important plot point takes place here, right here in the gorgeous and beautiful Roman pool. So I toured this castle over a 3-day period, and it was pretty strenuous, but I got a lot of video, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Not even if you haven't read the novel, maybe it will inspire you to read the novel, and maybe it will inspire you to actually want to come out to Hearst Castle and see this gorgeous and amazing museum for yourself. And here is our first view of the main terrace at Hearst Castle. And as the camera swings around, you will see La Casa Grande, and that would have been the view that Hazel would have seen when she first arrived and saw Marion Davies and William Randolph Hearst waiting for her. And here is our first view of the outdoor pool known as the Neptune Pool. Hazel would have been lounging at this pool on her first full day at Hearst Castle over across that way where the covered area is on the pillars. She would have been lounging over there in her bathing suit and enjoying the sun and just enjoying the views. Beautiful pool. So here are the steps that Hazelwood had to have climbed to get all the way up to La Casa Grande, which, as you recall in the book, she was pretty winded by the time she reached the top of this. Continuing on our journey up the steps, up to the main Casa Grande house where Hazel would actually be staying. Not everyone got to stay in the main house, but as you can see in the novel, Hazel did get to stay in the main house in a double bedroom, which I will show you later on in the tour. Those are the main doors that Marion Davies and William Randolph Hearst would have been stepping out of to greet her. And there it is, La Casa Grande. So here we have the main reception room. Those iron and glass double doors would lead into this room, and this is where Hazel was partying with Groucho Marx and making fun and just having a really good time and actually getting drunk. So more of the main reception room. There's the famous fireplace in the novel where men were gathered smoking and gossiping, and Hazel kind of broke out the party there. There's several sitting areas in this room, and I wanted to point out this is all the original furniture that Marion Davies had in the room at that time. And here is the dining room that Hazel would have ate at her first night here, and she also would have had her hangover breakfast here. This is where she became really ill. She was talking to a great writer, and then she decided, well, I'm kind of sick, and she was looking for the bathroom, and then she just went up to her room after she was sick, and she never came back. There's the big flags that I talk about in this room. Anyway, Hazel almost got kicked out of Hearst Castle because of her behavior on this first night. Here is the Roman pool with its solid gold, 24-karat gold tiles that Maisie and Hazel discovered on their first night there. It is also where she got in trouble with Chester over across the way at that alcove over there while she was skinny dipping with him after the party, and Luella Parsons caught them, and it almost ended her career. This is one of the most beautiful pools I've ever seen. So here we have an example of the staircase that Hazel would have to ascend and descend to get to her room and to leave her room to get down to the main part of La Casa Grande. And as you can tell, these steps are narrow and very slick, and they would have been slicker because they wouldn't have had these textured areas at the edges that were put in later on when this became a part of the national parks and became a tourist attraction. So they would have been even slippier. And these steps lead to the hallway where Hazel's room would have been. And here is an example of one of the suites up here on the second story. And everything was antique and brought in from Europe, and whole entire ceilings were brought in from Europe by Hearst, and walls and paintings, and it all had to be hauled up that hill. Here is the hallway and sitting area, one of the sitting areas that would have been in between the suites on the second story. So Hazel could have spent some time on the balcony gazing out at the view and the ocean Or she could have spent time by the fireplace. Your imagination runs wild. So here's an example of one of the really heavy doors that are that these suites have. And remember how the door was really heavy and she had a hard time opening it. And here's why. These are imported doors from Europe. And here is the actual suite that Hazel and Maisie would have slept in. It's a double room. And as you see, it's pretty small, which is what I said in the book. This is the actual suite that Marion Davies slept in. Those are her dresses and her little ironing board. And it's absolutely adorable, but it's not terribly big or fancy. Love the Art Deco bathroom. I can't say enough about the Art Deco bathroom. Basically, we toured every inch of this castle and almost every guest house. And so we were lucky to do that. This was her bedroom. She had all of this was in here when she lived here and when she visited here. And that's the bed that she slept in. It doesn't look terribly plush. And it's also antique and probably 500 years old, imported from Europe somewhere. All of the furnishings were imported from Europe. Even the ceiling was imported from Europe. So, like I said, we toured every aspect of this castle, and we got to see some pretty, some rooms that aren't on the normal tour, and this was one of them. This was William Randolph Hearst's personal library. It's absolutely stunning in person, and I can't say enough about this, and all of the books are rare first editions that are in the bookcases, and just an amazing room. And he would spend time here alone, and he would work in this room, and he would take calls in this room, and sometimes he would take meetings in this room. But it's really one of my very favorite rooms in the entire castle. So this has nothing to do with my book or with Hazel Champagne, but I just wanted to show you guys the Celestial Suite. It's very rare that we get a chance to see this. It's not on a regular tour and often isn't available, but we talked our tour guide into showing us. It's one of the suites at the very top of the bell towers, and it's absolutely gorgeous. There's 2 suites like this, and we were able to tour one of them. It's absolutely full of gold and sunlight, and it's just phenomenal. Here we have another suite on the second or third story, I'm not sure, that could have easily been Hazel and Maisie's suite. Again, full of priceless and rare antiques from Europe. There's a lot of religious imagery in Hearst Castle, and Maisie commented on that when they were at the pool, saying that she felt like she was in a church and being watched by God all the time. That's in the novel. Anyway, I just thought I'd show this to you because, again, this is something that Maisie and Hazel could have stayed in when they were in the castle. Here we are back at the Roman pool and the exact area where Hazel and Chester got flirtatious. Here are the Art Deco dressing rooms behind the Roman pool that are very rarely seen, and I wanted to show them to you because they are very rarely seen. But we were able to see them on one of our tours, and I was able to get pictures of them. So I hope you enjoyed this tour of the Art Deco dressing rooms. And as the sun sets on our tour, and the sun sets on Hearst Castle, I hope this inspires you to visit Hearst Castle in person. It's one of our national treasures, and it's truly worth seeing in person. I hope it also inspires you to pick up my novel, Goodbye Angel, Goodbye, and maybe take a look at it. I'm very proud of this novel. It's one of the best things I've ever written, in my opinion, and I think if you love old Hollywood, you will love my novel, Goodbye Angel, Goodbye. Hi everyone. So I just wanted to say hi and hope that you enjoyed the video on Hearst Castle. I spent 3 days and I took about, every tour I could take of Hearst Castle. And so I had to videotape on the slide because I wasn't exactly sure whether or not they were allowing videotaping, but nonetheless, I did a lot of videotaping there. This is featured prominently in the book Goodbye Angel, Goodbye When Dreams Aren't Enough. There's an entire chapter or more that takes place at Hearst Castle, and I tried to highlight those places in the video so that when you read the book, then you can refer to the video and see the real places that the book was referring to. So anyway, thanks for watching, and thanks for liking and subscribing. And please don't forget that I have 3 books: Goodbye Angel Goodbye, that's my novel, and 2 books, biography books on tragic Hollywood stars: Tragic Hollywood, Beautiful, Glamorous, and Dead, and Tragic Hollywood, Beautiful, Glamorous, and Still Dead. All 3 books are available on Amazon. Just type in my name, Jackie Gagne, or type in the titles of the books and you'll see them. All right, thank you, and we'll see you next time.